Hey guys, I want to see if I can go on Facebook too. Nope, no Facebook right now. So today we're going to be talking about color conversations. Let me go on Instagram first. But hey guys, I want to see if I can go on Facebook too. Nope, no Facebook right now. So today we're going to be talking about color conversations. Let me go on Instagram first. Let me cut this down. There we go. I'm getting this together. So I'm going to be on Instagram as well. So I just want to hook that up. So I hope everybody's doing great today. So, yes, I am live on I'm live on YouTube as well as Instagram. So today is the first day of the Color Diva Academy, and I'm so excited. So this is the first session of Color Diva Academy, and we're going to be talking about all things color. Okay, so we could wait for a couple of people to get on, or we could just jump right into it, talking about all things color. So, of course, I'm Jackie the Color Diva, and I am an American Board Certified Hair Colorist. And I just wanted to get on here today and every Tuesday, matter of fact. This is going to be a weekly content that we're going to be bringing to you live every Tuesday. And the reason why I decided to come live every Tuesday is because I'm an educator, and because of this pandemic, I have missed going out and sharing color information with other hairstylists. So I said, you know what? Instead of going out, we're going to be here online. Hey, everybody, we're going to be here online on every Tuesday, and we're just going to talk all things color. Okay, so just because I miss going out and teaching and sharing everything about color, I decided I'm going to do it right here, live every Tuesday. And I just want all the educators, all the stylists, everybody to come on in, and we're going to talk all things color. Every week is going to be something different, so that we can help each other as far as the color knowledge, because it's one thing to know how to place color, how to make color look good, but it's another thing if you don't understand color theory. Hey girl, how you doing? Um, it's one thing if you don't understand color theory. So what we're going to be talking about mostly on these lives is color theory, because a lot of stylists are out here. They know how to place color. They can mimic somebody else's color, but they don't understand why they're doing it, and they don't understand what's happening to the hair. Okay, so I just want to take it back to elementary school and start fresh so that everybody can understand how to do color and understand color theory. Okay, so if you have any questions, anybody that's on live, if you have any questions, put them in the chat box, and we're going to be, hopefully we can answer those questions for you. But today, what I'm going to be talking about is your guide to color freedom. Okay. And basically, this is a guide that will help you in the long run when you're in the salon, when you're out in the street or whatever, something real quick and easy that you can refer to when you're doing hair color. Okay. And it's called Your Guide to Color Freedom. And you can have this guide for free. All you have to do is go on my bio, click the Color Freedom Guide, and you can just put in your email address, and you can download this color guide for freedom for free. Okay, it's just basically a simple 10-step guide that will help you at the end of the day, so you can answer some questions to yourself about what you need to know about color before you start any color service. This is the Hair Color Freedom Guide, okay? And this, you can have your freedom guide for free. Just go onto my bio on Instagram, click the color guide freedom, put in your email address, and you can have it. But basically, this is what we're going to be talking about today. Now, each week we're going to be talking about something different, but I just wanted to get you something started now on how to talk to your clients about color, how to talk to other stylists about color, and so that you can know what steps to go through when you're doing your coloring service. Okay? So if anybody have any questions before we start, put them in the chat box and we'll talk about it. Okay? Cool. So your guide to color freedom. First thing you need to know is your client's hair history. A lot of people will start a color service and they don't know the history of the hair. Thank you for those hearts. If this is good information for you, put in those hearts for me, please. But a lot of people don't understand or know the history of the hair. They'll go in and start a color service, put that blonde or that bleach on that client's hair, and then they're trying to figure out why that lightener didn't lift up. Hey, Rita girl. Why that lightener didn't lift up. So, and they're trying to figure out why it's not lifting. It's because they didn't get a history from their client. They didn't ask them certain questions. And a consultation is very, very important when you're doing your coloring services. In that consultation, you will understand and you will learn the hair history, right? The hair history tells you what's been going on with their hair, how long they've been doing a semi-permanent rinse. How long, hey, hun, how long have they been doing certain things to their hair? This will give you an understanding of their hair and what should be done before you can even attempt a coloring service. If they have chemicals on their hair, if they are doing certain things to their hair, if they press their hair every day, there's certain things you need to know about this client before you start their coloring service. So if you know they have a semi-permanent black on their hair, then you know you're going to have some issues trying to get it lighter simply because they have something on their hair. Hey, Juan, simply because they have something on their hair. So it's very important when you do your coloring service that you have to have a thorough consultation. And in that consultation, which is number one, the first thing you need to know is hair history. So this is the color guide that you can get for free. Just go on to my bio, click it, and it will give you the 10 steps to a successful coloration in the salon. That's your color guide, okay? The second thing you need to know is your laws of color. Again, a lot of stylists out there, they'll go and try to correct the color, and it's not happening for them because they don't understand the laws of color. We all know the primary colors are red, blue, and yellow. Some people don't know that, and some people don't understand how to correct if they have red in the hair, how to get that red out of the hair. So you have to understand your laws of color in order for you to do a successful color service. Again, if you have any questions on anything that I'm saying, just write them in the chat and we will get those questions answered. Okay, but number two is know your laws of color. If you know your laws of color, you will not have any problems doing color correction. Okay? So these are 10 steps that I'm trying to share with you to have color freedom when you're doing coloring services in the salon. You want to have color confidence. And color confidence don't come easy. Color confidence don't come overnight. You have to constantly educate yourself, constantly practice doing color, constantly. Sometimes you make a lot of mistakes, but you learn from those mistakes, right? Many times I did something, I'm like, oh my gosh, I messed up. But I learned from that mistake. I know now not to do what I did that first time. So, I mean, some people might be your guinea pigs or your muses that you do. How do correct? You're saying, how do you correct hair color? Again, you have to know your laws of color in order to correct color. For example, I'm gonna give you a real quick tip. Your color is, your primary colors are red, blue, and yellow. So anytime you have a client that has something in their hair that they do not want, or you're trying to correct it, you always say to yourself, what's the missing primary color? For example, if the hair has a green cast on it, a green cast, how do you make green? How you make green, which green is a secondary color. How you make secondary colors is of equal portions of two primary colors. So how you get green is blue and yellow, right? So if you have green in your hair, what's the missing primary color? Red. So that is how you will correct the color, is by adding the missing primary color that you have in your hair. So Contour Kim, that's basically how you do corrective color. Corrective colors is really, really easy if you understand the laws of color. And if you just say to yourself, what's the missing primary color in that hair? Then that's what you would use in order to correct that color. Let's give you another example. If the hair is, okay, let's say when you're doing a relaxer, right, on a gray hair client, you do that relaxer on that gray hair client and their hair turns yellow. Mostly, a lot of people will pick up a purple shampoo. Why do you pick up that purple shampoo? Kim, let me know, give me some hearts if I answered your question for you, okay? But why do you pick up that purple shampoo when you have a yellow cast in the hair? Purple, how do you make purple? Purple is made by red and blue. So they have yellow in the hair already. So the missing primary colors is red and blue. So that is why we pick up that purple shampoo to correct that yellow, because the missing primary colors is red and blue. So I hope that helped you out, Kim. If so, give me some hearts in the on the side, and I'll definitely appreciate that. So that is really the basis on how to, really simple on how to correct hair. Can you give a formal example in a corrective surgery? Well, a formula, you have to know one, so I'm going to get to that as well. You got to know where you're starting at in order to know where you're going to go. You can't just pick a formula and say, that's what I'm going to use. You got to say to yourself, what's there already? What am I starting with first? I did. Okay. What am I starting with? You got to know where you're starting at in order to know where you want to go. So you can't just really say, give me your formula and fix it, because you got to say, okay, I'm starting with this level, which is if I'm starting at a level 4. Okay, level 4, you're going to say you want to go to a level 8. Okay. Level 4 has red in there. You want to go to a level 8 that wants to be blonde, right? So how do you get rid of that that red to get to that blonde, which is yellow? You got to get rid of that red. So in your color formulation, you have to have some kind of green in there to get rid of that red. Remember, I said you have to have all 3 primary colors in order to neutralize. And that's what we say when we neutralize it, we have to have all 3 of those primary colors in there to make sure we get rid of what we don't want. So you're always going to go back neutral again. So as long as you have all 3 primary colors present, then you can get rid of whatever you're trying to get rid of. Did I answer your question, Blonded by Beauty? I hope so. If I didn't, if you need further explanation, just let me know. Okay, so that's how you need to know step number 2. So again, we're talking about our Color Freedom Guide. Again, this guide you can get, just go into my bio, click the bio, enter your information, and you can download this color guide for you. And it's 10 easy steps on how to do a successful color in a salon real quick, okay? These are steps that you need to know. There's Nakira. Hey, oh, that's Nakira. Hey, Nakira. So these are steps that you need to know. So number 3 is understanding what type of coloring service you're doing. You got to know what type of color service. Hey, Mira Bling lady, Ashanta. So you got to know, you got to understand what type of coloring services you're doing. You got to know if you're doing a retouch, a virgin application, a corrective color, gray coverage, You got to know those things. I was just asking, but you have very helpful tips in your book. That is my color. Now, okay, thank you, Nakia. Nakia is talking about my book as well. I have, Jaden, can you get me a book out of the drawer, out of that door? So, of course, you know, I love all things color. Everything about me is about color. I love doing color. That is my specialty in the salon. And Nakia just brought up my book on my color book. Now, I wrote a color book about 5 years ago. It's called Hair Color Simplified. Excuse me. I went to the dentist today and they started my crown. So I'm finding different things in my mouth throughout the day. But thank you. So 5 years ago, I developed the book Hair Color Simplified, which is right here. And the reason why I wrote this book, because again, I've been with a color company for about 20 years now, doing color education, talking about their coloring service. But I noticed that once I left the salon or left the educational venue or whatever I was doing, I noticed that people were still having questions about color theory. They knew how to use the color, but they still wasn't understanding color theory. So what I found out what was best for me, I said, let me write a book on just color theory itself. So that's what this book is, Hair Color Simplified. I took my 30 years of experience of hair coloring knowledge, put it all in this book. It's very thin, but it gives you all the basic information that you need in order to do a successful coloring service. So that's the book that Nakia is talking about. So yeah, I'm glad I wrote the book. People have been loving it. I call it the Hair Color Bible, yes, because all you got to do is go in here and look. It talks about the laws of color, the principles of color. It talks about color correction, underlying pigments, all of that good stuff. Okay, so that's what she's talking about. But number 3, understanding what type of coloring you're doing. When you understand what type of coloring you're doing before you even start your service, it will help you at the end. Okay, you got to know what you're doing before you start. That means, again, if you're doing a retouch, if you're doing a virgin application, if you're doing a color correction, if you're doing gray coverage, what do you need to do before you even start that service? And then you're saying to yourself, okay, if they're at a level this or that, do they want to keep Hair Color Simplified is an amazing guide to understand it. Thank you very much, Juan. That's another one of my hair color friends. I call her my hair color buddy. We got so many names for each other because we just flip flop off of each other, doing lots of things together. You know, you got to find that person or persons in your industry that you could just call up, talk about different things. And Juan is one of those people that I can talk to about just all things hair. Okay, so yes, you have to know what type of service you are doing in the salon before you even start. Don't just start, take them to the back and then start shampooing the hair and then you have no idea what you're doing. Okay, you got to know what you're doing first. Talk to them in your consultation. You need to be talking to them about what exactly they want to get done. Okay, what do they want to get done? Then you determine what you're going to do. If you're going to do a retouch, a virgin, what type of balayage, if you're going to do highlights, all of those things you need to know before you even start your service, okay? And then you're saying to yourself, okay, once you do that, you're saying to yourself, okay, she's at a level 4. You know, at a level 4, she has red undertones. You need to say to yourself, whatever color she picked when she came into their salon, most likely she bought a picture, she took something out the magazine, she went on Pinterest and got a picture. You're saying to yourself, okay, she came in, she's at a level 4, she's brown. But we know in that brown hair, she has some red underlying pigments. The picture that she brought in, you're going to say to yourself, okay, do I need to keep these red underlying pigments or do I need to get rid of those underlying pigments? So if she's at a level 4 and she wants to be blonde, we already know we need to get rid of these red underlying pigments. So you're going to say to yourself, am I going to dominate her underlying pigments? Am I going to neutralize her underlying pigments? Am I going to, what else? Am I going to enhance her underlying pigments or am I going to control her underlying pigments? Which one am I going to do? That will help you understand what your formulation is going to be. A lot of people will pick the color that she picked in her book. So say if you showed her, you showed her the color book, right? And she picked, let's say she picked, since she wants to be blonde, she picked a 8G. You see what 8G looks like, right? Right here, 8G. She picked 8G. And you said, okay, she's a level 4. She's brown. And you just going to pick 8G that she picked out of the color book. If you put 8G on her hair with 40 volume, she's not going to be blonde. She's still going to have some red underlying pigments, simply because you did not take in consideration her underlying pigments, that red that's in her hair. So you had to say to yourself, what do I want to do with it? Do I want to dominate her underlying pigment? Do I want to enhance it? Do I want to control it? Or do I want to neutralize it? Okay. When you say control it, I can still use some of that red to help her with her coloring surface. We're not controlling it because we don't want the red. I can dominate it simply by getting rid of it and give her a whole new tone in her hair. So that's what you have to say to yourself. Am I going to control her underlying pigments, enhance it, dominate it, or neutralize it? So that's step number 4, which you need to know when you're doing your coloring service. Okay, that's step number 4. Now, number 5 is know what is exposed at each level of the hair when you're lifting it. Again, you got to know what you're working with in order to know where you're going to go. So if you're at a level 2 or a level 3, you already know 3 and 4 has red underlying pigments in their hair. So you're saying to yourself, okay, I'm at a red underlying pigment. Am I going to keep this red when whatever her desired color is, or do I need to get rid of that red? So each level has its own underlying pigments. And I have this sheet here. Each level tells you exactly what the underlying pigment is. And this is like a little cheat sheet that you can have in a salon. This cheat sheet tells you at each level, what do you need to use in order to get rid of it? Okay, so for example, a level, again, level 4, which is red, what I already talked about. If you look over to the side, it says, what's the neutralizing base? Green. So it already tells you what you need in order to get rid of that red that's in that client's hair. Hey, so again, your color guide to color freedom is what you need that tells you the 10 easy steps that will help you get successful coloration. Again, this guide is free. All you have to do is go to my bio, click on the color guide, enter your information, and you can download that guide for free. So going back to underlying pigments, again, this sheet here tells you exactly what each level, what underlying pigment is for each level. This is where a lot of stylists miss the bullet. They just go in. So say, like I said, she wanted to be a level 8, 8G. She was a level 4. That's 4 levels of lift that she's going. We would use 40 volume, but if we just use the 8G, she wouldn't be that gold that we want her to be. Hi, boo, looking great. Thank you. Appreciate it. We wouldn't be that gold that she wants to be because she would still have red underlying pigments in her hair. So with your formulation, you would have to have some green base in your formulation to get rid of that red. Again, remember, long as you have all 3 of the primary colors in the hair, that will neutralize it. Now you need to add something to dominate that red that she has in her hair. So that is step number 5. Step number 6 is know how to formulate your formula. I just gave you the formulation for level 4. She wants to be an 8G. So we know we need to have, we wouldn't pick an 8G to do her hair color. We will pick an 8A, which has an ash base, which is a green, okay? We will use a green base in order to do her color service. So that's how you do your formulation. Again, long as you know, hey, how you doing? Long as you know all of those steps, you will have a successful coloration. Again, this is something that we're going to be talking about every week. So if you have questions about color, questions about, some things that's happening in the salon, go into my DM, write or go onto this live, put the questions down. So then next week we could talk about some of the issues that you might be having with color. But I want to make this all about coloring so that you can have success. I've seen so many people with a bad color job. And if we're professionals and we're doing it, we don't want to send them out with bad color jobs. No. We want to make sure that we get that money, one, as well as give professional services and that they're satisfied each and every time they come into the salon. So that is what I'm here for, to help you answer any questions that you have, to help you on your color knowledge journey. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing every Tuesday. Again, I decided to do this simply because I miss doing education, like going out and just talking to people and sharing my knowledge and just meeting people. So I figured, I said, I'll go on here and do it live every Tuesday. Okay, until I can't do it anymore. But you know, this is, thank you for the hearts. This is for you guys. So again, if you know any other stylists that needs help with coloring services, tell them to join this live every Tuesday. Okay, because this is the first one, and we're going to keep doing this every Tuesday at 7 p.m. unless something else comes up. But that's what my plan is to do. So next, number 7, understand what each color category does to the hair. So a lot of people don't understand what each color category, when I say color category, I mean, is it a permanent color? Is it a semi-permanent color? Is it demi-permanent color? Or is it a temporary color? And you need to understand what each of those things does to the hair. Because sometimes we might do a permanent color when we don't need to do a permanent color. So if you understood what each color does to the hair, then you would know what to do for that client. For example, if your client says to you, I want a darker color, she wants a darker color, but she doesn't want it to be permanent, but she wants it to last a little longer than semi-permanent, but she doesn't want it to be permanent like a permanent, then you know you would choose a demi-permanent color, because one is going to last a little longer than a semi-permanent, because the semi-permanent, all the semi-permanent does to the hair, let me show you this little thing here. So I have this guide called Where Hair Color Lives, okay? This guide, Where Hair Color Lives, it tells you exactly what each category of hair color does to the hair. So if you already see, so these little strands say temporary. Temporary tells you that temporary is only going to sit on a cuticle layer of the hair. Simply because it's sitting on a cuticle layer of the hair is not going to last long, okay? All depending on how temporary is going to go from shampoo to shampoo, because it's just sitting on the outside cuticle of the hair. It's just going to give you a nice little gloss, something temporary that's going to last from shampoo to shampoo. Then you have semi-permanent. Semi-permanent, again, is on a cuticle, but it dives in a little bit deeper than the temporary. Because it's semi-permanent and goes in a little deeper, it's going to last a little bit longer. So they say, all depending on how often you shampoo your hair, that's how long it's going to last. The average person that shampoos their hair every 2 to 3 days is going to last about 6 to 8 weeks. But if you have clients that only shampoo their hair once a week, once every 2 weeks, it's going to last much longer. So you need to let your clients know that as well. If they don't shampoo their hair as often, the hair color is going to last much longer if it's meant to fade off, okay? Now, then we have demi-permanent. Demi-permanent is a step below permanent, but a step above semi-permanent. So demi-permanent is going to go past, if you look here on this here, it's going to go past the cuticle layer, and some of them are going to enter into the cortex layer of the hair, okay? So that's why it can last a little bit longer. It can last for about 25 shampoos, depending on how often, again, you shampoo your hair. But 25 shampoos is, it usually what happens is you're not going to get a line of demarcation, but it's going to start fading off of the hair. So that's what demi-permanent does. It fades off the hair. So you don't have to wait till it grows out or you cut it out. It gradually fades out of the hair. So when you're talking with your clients, you need to know what each category of hair color does to the hair. And this little guide here tells you exactly what categories does to the hair. So if you know your client doesn't want to have to wait to the hair to grow out, then you know that's something probably she wants a demi or a semi-permanent where it just fades out of the hair and she's not committed to that hair color service. But then you have a permanent color. Permanent color is going to last until it grows out or you cut it out because it goes into the cortex layer of the hair. So it's going to stay there forever until it grows out or you cut it out. Okay, so those are the 4 categories of hair color. You have temporary, semi-permanent, demi-permanent, and then permanent. Which one is going to be best for your client? And I always say choose the most gentlest one that you can use first so that you can keep the integrity of the hair. So if you know that the client wants a darker color, but she doesn't want it to last as long, don't go for a permanent color. Go for a demi-permanent or a semi-permanent, all depending on what she has and what she needs, okay? Because then if she has gray hair, that's a whole nother beast in itself, okay? So you have to know exactly which color category you're working with and what it does for the hair. Number 8, we're going to go through all of these steps on this color guide. Again, you can get this color guide for free. Just go to my bio. Number 8, know the 4 easy steps when you're doing a coloring service. What's the 4 easy steps? If you take these 4 easy steps when you're doing your coloring service, you shouldn't have any problems. A lot of times people just go ahead and rush to do the coloring service. No, take your time and figure it out. Number 1, know what level you're starting with. If you're starting at a level, so you need to know what levels. You know it's 1 to 10 to sometimes 11 levels of the hair, depending on where your client fits at. Level 1 is black. Level 10 is blonde. And then you have your in-betweens. So each person is going to fall within one of those categories, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, 10. You have to say to yourself, where am I starting at in order to know where I'm going to go? So in order to know that, each professional product color company that you work with has a natural series, okay? Going from 1 all the way up, this one goes to 11. You can take this book, place it against your client's head to know exactly where you're starting at. If it's not on a natural series, like I have color in my hair, so I have to go to one of the colors. They're either going to be natural or they're going to be tinted. So you have to say, okay, if it's natural, I can use the natural series. If it's tinted, I have to go to one of the colors and figure out which color is in that person's hair. So that's how you know the level that they're starting with. So for example, me, I will be a level 11. I already know that, 11. So I know I'm at a 11. I'm not going no higher. I will most likely go darker. But if you have the average person, they're going to be at a level 3, 4, or 5, something like that. If you all depend on if you're working with a lot of dark hair. So you say to yourself, okay, I'm starting at a level 5. Let's say 5. I've been picking 4 all week. So let's say we're starting at a level 5. So you already know I'm starting at a level 5. So at level 5, I already know what my underlying pigments are going to be. Okay. I already know that I have red and orange underlying pigments in my hair or that client's hair. So we already figured out, okay, level 5, as soon as she walked through the door, I'm looking at her hair, I say she's a level 5. I already know I'm working with red and orange underlying pigments. So whatever color she picks, I'm saying to myself, am I going to keep those red underlying pigments, red and orange underlying pigments? Am I going to get rid of it, neutralize it? Am I going to dominate it, or am I going to enhance it? That's what you're saying to yourself. So you already know what you need to do. So if I'm at a level 5 and then I pick a copper color, level 8 copper, I'm already saying to myself, okay, I'm at a level 5. My level 5 has red, orange underlying pigments. Okay. Level 8 copper has orange underlying pigments. So I'm already saying to myself, I am going to enhance and control my underlying pigments because I want to get rid of the red. I just want to be copper because if I don't get rid of the red, I'm going to be too dark, too red copper. So I'm saying to myself, I'm going to control my underlying pigments. I'm only going to control it because I don't want to get rid of the orange that's in her hair. I just want to control that red, I don't want so much of the red. So when I do my color formulation, I can easily pick a copper color, but add some gold to it. Let me add some green to get rid of some of that red that's in the hair. That's how you do your coloring. That's how you do your formulation. Okay. So you're already saying what level you're starting with. I'm starting at a level 5. Then I'm going to say what level are they going to? They want to go to a level 8 copper. Then I'm going to say what tone do they want? They want to be a copper tone. And then you do your formulation. That's the 4 easy steps in trying to figure out what your formulation is going to be. Knowing where you're starting at, knowing what tone they want, knowing what level they want to be, and then you do your formulation. Hey. So that is how you do your color formulation. It's not, I mean, it's it's science to it, but if you know what you're doing when you start and what you want to finish with, in between, you just got to figure it out by those steps that I showed you. It's really easy. Now, these right here, this level chart that I have here and the color series and all that, you can get that on my website as well. It's the color toolkit. Now this toolkit in there has everything that you need to understand color. Talking about the underlying pigments, talking about the color wheel. I give you a video how to do everything, color grid, all of that good stuff is on there as well. And that's my color toolkit. So I have that for purchase. You can purchase that. It's only $27. And in there, you can just download everything, and it gives you everything that you need for your color. It also has the color guide in there as well. But if you don't want that, you can get the color guide for free. Okay. So that is how you do. That's number 8. How you do. That's your 4 easy steps into a successful coloration. Okay. What time we got here? Okay. Now, number 9. Number 9 is knowing the different techniques that you can accomplish on your client's head, because it's nothing like boring hair color. So you want to at least be able to do different techniques on that client if they ask for it. You know, I don't like one flat color. If I can do dimensions of the color, then I can. If they pick a 8C and it's just going to be a flat 8C, I'm going to try to do some dimensions with that 8C. I might do, if it calls for 40 volume, you know, I might do 30 volume on the bottom and then 40 volume up top, so it can have some dimensions in that hair. Okay, so that's how you can get some dimensions, just alternating or doing some different volumes in your color formulation. If it calls for 20 volume, you can do 20 volume up top and then 10 volume on the bottom, or 10 volume in her roots and then 20 volume in the rest of the hair. That's how you can get some dimension without doing too much, okay? Then you also have your highlights. Your highlights, you can do different highlights throughout the hair, do different levels of highlights, 10, 20, and 30 volume, you know, back to back. And that way you have nice dimension within the hair instead of just one flat blonde highlight. You can have dimensions in the hair. And you see a lot of people and you're like, oh, that's so pretty. How did they do that? They just probably just changed the volume that they use in their color formulation. You could do one foil 10 volume, one foil 20 volume, one foil 30 volume. Just alternate back like that, or just change your colors up in each foil. There's so many different ways you can do dimensions in the hair. That's what you can do. You got low lights, you got highlights, balayage, ombre, so many different techniques. You don't have to just color the whole head one color and send them out the door. Offer them different techniques. When you offer them different techniques, that way you can demand more income, okay, when you're offering different techniques. But know how to do those techniques if you're offering them. Okay, you don't want to offer them something that you don't know how to do. Okay, so therefore, that's why it's important to get your education, important to practice, important to get a mentor. If you don't know, you know, a lot of stuff that you need to know, get a mentor. Have somebody coach you, have somebody mentor you in what you need to know, or just constantly keep taking classes. And if you do it, show your clients what you're doing in the salon. Put some mannequins in the salon that have different techniques, because if you don't wear color, your clients is not going to ask for it. So therefore, you got to show them something. So if you show them some mannequins that have different techniques on them, then they're going to start asking about color. And you can gradually introduce them to color if the client has never had color in their hair. Gradually introduce them. I wouldn't take a client that never had color and was afraid, and they're like, I'm not sure, and give them a whole head blonde. No, you want to gradually do a couple of slices, do a couple of highlights in the hair or something like that. Then they love it. They're going to start asking for more. Because once you have a color client, you have a client for life. Because they're going to want to keep getting different stuff each and every time. I've been doing color to my hair since I was 14. Because simply I just loved color. Even back when I was 14, it's a little dark. So I just loved color. So at 14, I was putting Kool-Aid in my hair in the 9th grade just to get some color in my hair. And I just gradually kept doing color. When I was in school. I made sure I learned everything about color. And then I wanted that to be my specialty. And then from there, you know, I got my, I became an American Board Certified Colorist. So I'm all about color in the salon. I'm all about color and just doing different things. As you see, I cut all my hair off and I'm just blonde. I'm going to do different colors probably soon. Who knows? I just wake up and just say, I want to do this and that with my color. And that's how you can be free with color. Color is not constricted. Color is fun. Color is something that you can do in the salon when the client gets bored with their hair. By just adding a little piece in the front or on the side, you can take them to a totally different look. So that's why you just got to do different things in the salon, offer it to them, especially those clients that you do on a weekly basis. They get the same thing. Yes, cherry Kool-Aid, right? I had that in my hair, and then my uniform was burgundy. So I would put burgundy color in my hair, cherry color in my hair, grape color in my hair to match my uniform that I had in school. But yes, that's how now. Don't use that cherry Kool-Aid now because that will stain. When I say stain them cuticles on the hair, it's going to be in there for a minute. That Kool-Aid is no joke. It stains your hair so much so that if you want to go blonde, you're not getting that blonde the next service. No, you're going to have to start removing that color out of hair. And that's why it's important to know exactly what you're doing, because a lot of people at home doing different stuff, and then they come in a salon and you're looking like, what did you do to your hair? So you got to know all the different tricks and stuff that's happening out in the outside world. Because, you know, people go on YouTube and they see their friend did something and they did this and that, and then they want to do it to their hair. And then when it's messed up, they come to the salon. So now you got to say to yourself, okay, what do I need to do? So that's why it's important to get the education and the necessary tools that you need to know exactly what you need to do when those type of clients come into your salon. Okay. Now, number 10. So we went through this whole little list here. Again, this is my guide to color freedom. This guide to color freedom will help you with easy understanding of hair color in the salon when you're in a crunch or you just don't know what you need to do. Just look at this color guide and it's going to help you along the way. Again, it's free. Just go onto my bio, click the color guide, download it. Once you put your information in, download it, and you will have it for yourself. Okay. Next, number 10 is be creative and take your time. Be creative and take your time. It's nothing like a boring hairstylist. You got to be creative, especially with color. Color is so much fun. Color is make hair exciting. Color will give you a whole boost to yourself and your client. Color will just change your whole outlook on a lot of things. As you see my background, I got a bunch of flowers. Color, just because it just changed the atmosphere of where I'm at. So you want to be exciting about it. Offer your clients some color. Everybody is not going to be a color client, but everybody doesn't want to be pink and blue and purples. But some clients do want to cover their gray, or they want to go darker. It's a lot of things why people get color. It's not just the pinks and the purples, but you have the black and the browns and the cherry reds and the reddish browns and different things like that you can offer your clients. They don't have to always be this or pink or anything like that, but offer color to those color clients. Okay. because it can help you increase your profits in the salon. Not only that, but it helps your clients. It gives them a boost of confidence. It gives them a boost of what you call it, confidence and self-esteem. So that's what you want to do with your clients. That's why they come to you, for that boost of self-esteem, confidence, look good, feel better, all of that stuff. That's why I got into cosmetology, because I wanted people to look good and feel better. When I was young, I was going to the salon by myself, and my father would send me to the salon. I would look at all the ladies getting their hair done, and when they look in the mirror, they felt so good. And I was like, Dad, I want that. I want to do that same thing. And that's why I really got into cosmetology and as a hairstylist, because I saw people, when they finished in the salon and they looked in that mirror, their whole confidence was boosted. Their whole self-esteem was boosted. So that's what I wanted to do as well. So that's why I really got into cosmetology. And then once I got into cosmetology and went to school, I said, I want to share this with everybody else too. So that's why I became a teacher in cosmetology, because I was like, I love it. I want to share it. Now I want to teach it. So that's what I'm doing, teaching it. So I hope this information was helpful to you guys. I just wanted to share some of this with you. Again, we're going to be here every week, every Tuesday at 7 p.m. talking about color. We're going to have color conversation. This is the Color Diva Academy. This is episode number 1. I'm so glad that y'all came and just let me share my knowledge and let me share some information with you guys. If you have any questions about anything, if you want to know more, if you want to talk about some other stuff, put it in the chat, put it on my DM me, let me know what you want to talk about. And then the next week we could talk about that as well. But I have a couple of things that I already got listed down that I want to talk about. But in the meantime, if you have some questions, let me know, and then we can tackle those as well. So if you have any questions, you can always email me at JackieTheColorDiva@gmail.com. If you want to get the color guide to freedom, then you can go here in my bio and click on the color freedom guide. Once you click on that, you can enter your information, and then it will be downloaded to you. If you wanted the other information, like all the downloads and guides on where hair color lives, if you wanted the color, the levels of color, if you want the color wheel, all of that good stuff, I have a color tool guide where the color toolkit will help you with all the other information that we didn't touch on today. That will give you printouts of everything, the formula grid, the levels, all the good stuff that's in there. It's so much good stuff in there that will help you. It's only $27. So if you want that, you can go on again to my bio and you can click on the color toolkit. The color toolkit will give you so much download information, as well as a video on how to do everything that's in the kit. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys for coming on tonight. And sharing with me, and let me share with you information about hair color. And I look forward to talking with you soon. Now, again, if you know anybody else that want to know this information, let them know about the Color Diva Academy, that we're going to be here every Saturday, not Saturday, every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Tell them about it so they can click on here and join with us, okay? But in the meantime, y'all stay safe. They talk about snow. So if you're snowing, stay safe, be nice and warm, and keep studying and keep your head up. Talk to you guys later. Thank you.